asked me this morning, she's like, what are you nervous about today? And I said, nothing. What do you mean? We do this every day. But actually, I was telling Sam, just now, just like when I started realizing this little segment was coming up, I started feeling nervous because it means a lot to me. There are pictures on my slides. I know, but I'm going to choose the fire. So I wanted to wrap up today on a personal story, and I think that's why I'm nervous, because it's hiding behind frameworks is always easier. And I'm going to start by telling you every year I pick a word of the year. And it's meant to serve as an inspiration. Actually, I have 2 partners here who do that with me, Rhea and Maria. We pick a word of the year. And, that's usually like a guiding theme, something to, a guardrail or an incentive to maybe have our year be a little bit different, more focused. Last year in December, when I was trying to pick my word of the year, I woke up one day and I realized I had no country that I wanted to visit, no dish that I wanted to eat, which if you know me, that's like, I'm not okay. And this made me realize that I had focused so hard, and thankfully so, I'm not sad about it. Look at what we built. That I'd focused so hard on building this company and also having a daughter in the process and keeping everybody alive, that I was in the doing constantly, and there was nothing I was longing for, which scared me. So I said, okay, the word of the year is laughter and longing. 2 words. They allowed me to make an exception to the rule. I just wanted, when I thought about it a bit longer, about why did I pick these words? What did they mean to me? In some ways, it was a search for life, for vitality, for joy. And it was a search for longing, for wanting things. Rhea recently dug out a book she hadn't read yet, and she sent me a passage that longing is the absolute expression of feminine love. And so that's what I was looking for. And I realized, vitality, what does life mean to me? And it means learning. So I went out into the world and I said to everyone in front of me, this is my year of new teachers. And I waited to see where the world got me. So now let me tell you what happened. Last summer, I was in Italy. I had organized a trip, finally, the first one, honestly, since we've had kids, with my brother, his family, my mom. We've never traveled together like that. And Gabby was 2. Those of you who have kids, travel was a huge disruption to her life. She hated every minute of it, tantrums everywhere. And one day we were in Siena, and I got her the wrong ice cream flavor or something, and she just didn't stop screaming for 45 minutes. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm just going to take her back. I think she needs an introverted moment. Sorry, darling, everybody, let's go. Hadi, Gabby. I put her into her stroller, which she hates. She was literally, physically trying to rip it off her body. And I said, we have to go. We love you all. Sorry. And as we were, enjoy the rest of the afternoon. And as we were coming out, I saw an illustration. This one. And I said to my husband, I'm like, okay, I know Gabby's screaming, but I really, really, really need you to go and buy this for me. I don't know why. It's just called me. Great. Got the illustration. And at that particular moment, Gabby decided to finally, and this never happens to my daughter, to finally fall asleep in her stroller. I think kids are really good systems mirrors. And maybe we were worrying too much about her not disrupting everybody, that we weren't enjoying ourselves, and maybe she could feel that. Let me fix this mic before someone yells at me. So she finally fell asleep, and Hadi and I sat down, had a coffee, really enjoyed ourselves. Came back to Dubai, put this illustration in my office, and last year, as we told you, we were working on polarities, and we were trying to find an inspiration for the art and the visual direction. And this came up because this is, as you can see, it's like stone and heavy, but then outside is space and the cosmos. And so that kind of, for those of you who were there, you might remember some of our visuals. They were a lot about this tension between things that don't feel like they naturally sit in the same place. It was beautiful, it was wonderful. Thank you, we moved on. This year, in my search for new teachers, every time I said this to someone, what's beautiful about this is they offer theirs. I remember Wissam, for example, sent me on a path into Sufism. I read Hindu books. I even went to see an astrologer, which if you know me from last year, you would have thought, never. This is not, I'm not that person. Some people are, I wasn't. And when I met her, she spoke about a lot of things, surprisingly accurate, I have to say. But one of the words that she put into my life is the tension between the masculine and the feminine, which I've always struggled with. All the women in my life have struggled with it. I talked to my mom about it. She's like, I didn't have a choice. I had to lead. I had to be on the masculine. What does the feminine mean? And this astrologer recommended I go see a healer, which I did, by the way. She healed me in ways I can't even begin to explain and solved a medical problem that I'd had for 3 years in one day. It was fascinating, systems. And one of the things she said to me, I think, hopefully I don't offend anyone with this metaphor, but it was hers, so call Emma if you don't like it. She said, Marilyn, here's what I need you to understand about you. For a really long time, you've been acting like the sperm. What do you mean? She said, you keep moving. And if there's an obstacle, you move left. And if there's another one, you move right. And you've been doing that, and it's great. But now I need you to act like the egg. I said, okay, Emma, what does the egg do? And she went like this. She said, she waits. And so I'm like, okay, I need to wait. I need to be more grounded. I need to move slower. I need to be, not do. Tala's mom always reminds us we're called human beings, not human doings. And in Beirut, I can do that really well, for some reason. Just a place. And when I come to Dubai, I can't, because Dubai is a masculine city, and everybody's moving. And you feel like if you take a 30-minute break, you're already behind. So I said, I need to bring this energy back with me. I did a few things. I bought honey with me, and when I eat it, I try to put an intention from my homeland. And then I also deleted Instagram and TikTok, which used to be my go-to to freeze my brain before I go to sleep. And according to my phone, this used to be a 4 to 5 hour daily problem. Intense. So I deleted them. Suddenly I had all this free time. I went to my bookshelf. I picked up some books I haven't read. I have this disease where I buy books but don't read them because I don't have time. There's a Japanese word for it. It's called tsundeku. And I picked up this book, which you all have in your totes. And I picked up a few others, but this is the one I started reading. It was small. I was like, And I also really love this author. His name is Italo Calvino. He's completely insane. And as I was reading it, the first chapter is, so it's called Mr. Palomar, and it's about, this guy's the central character, but every chapter is him observing the world. And the first chapter was about waves, where he's sitting and saying, where does a wave start and where does it end? Is the wave pulling the one behind it or being pushed by it? And as I was reading it, I was like, he's describing the system. And the systems thinking topic felt very masculine to me. So all along, we've been trying to make it a little bit more whimsical, a little bit more magical. It's why we created the houses that we use for our leaders circle and all the visualization around it. And I said to Tala, last year we had a very feminine topic and we gave people business books. But this year, how about we give them this? It's literally a meditation. Every chapter is a meditation. So Tala says, fascinating, who's this author? Looks him up. It turns out that in the 60s, he wrote a book called Cosmic Comics. The universe. So we Googled that book. And okay, I see the new cover, but then we find the original cover. And this is it. Now, what you'll notice, it's a bit far. If we had the screen, you'd see it. But the difference between the illustration I have and this is there's a little bird here. And I became very curious. Why is this bird missing from my illustration? So I looked up the illustrator, and this is a guy called Esker, Dutch, married to an Iraqi woman. And his father-in-law had gifted them a sculpture of a bird called the Simurgh, which comes from Persian mythology. And, as I later discovered, Sufism. So I'm like, fascinating, very cool, bird called the Simurgh, got it, thanks. 3 days later, I'm talking to a friend who I only reconnected with this summer. And I tell her this story because she loves this stuff. Synchronicity is what this is called. And she's like, the Simurgh, the bird with the 7 valleys? I'm like, I don't know. She said, no. 3 days ago, I was on YouTube. This video was recommended to me about the Simurgh. Okay, the universe is sending more signals. Tell me about him. And I look him up. And there's a poet in the 12th century, a Sufi poet, who wrote about the Simurgh. And the story goes like this. The birds of the world, all species, wanted to find their king. And they are led by one particular bird. I can't pronounce his species, so I'm going to leave him out. Sorry, or her. And he tells them, or this bird tells them, that the king, their king, is beyond a certain mountain, the mountain of Kaf. And they all go out to seek him. And they have to go through 7 valleys. For those of you who are in that particular chapter of spirituality, but it is to be found in many, in Islam it's called the 7 layers of the soul, 7 levels of the soul, which you taught me at the beginning of this year. And so the birds travel through these valleys, and it's the valley of quest, of love, of knowledge, of annihilation. So each valley has its own challenges. And by the end, only 30 birds remain. And in Persian, Simurgh literally translates into 30 birds. And when they arrive to their final destination, there's 3 or 4 different endings to this story, but they all sound the same. The bird, Simurgh, comes out, but each bird sees themselves in that bird. Some other stories say that there was a lake, and they saw their reflection in the lake. And what the story tells us is that what they realized in that particular moment was that the king was within. This being that they were looking for was themselves. And I think what I want to leave you with today, and we've hinted to it a lot, but it's the lesson I hope that stays with you. It's certainly the lesson the universe has been sending me, is that you are the king. Whatever you seek to change in the world, you can change in yourself. And that is the one thing that I hope you walk away with today. Remember, you're the jewel. You shine infinite and bright. And whatever you want to change is within you. Thank you.